Yo, what's up? This is the first video for the Discord. We've been postponing a lot just because we've been busy, but there will be two videos out. There will be two beginner videos, one by myself and then one by someone else on my team. Two separate strategies, just to see like what y'all dig with more. Y'all can either vote on what you like more, or we can keep on doing two. Either way, it's fine with me. But to keep this all simple, I'm gonna keep this kind of quick. But I'm gonna teach y'all just what is trading, like what is stocks, like what are we trading, how do we get on there, how do we trade. I'm just gonna teach y'all the rundown for right now, and then as we go on teaching y'all, we'll post more and more strategic videos. But for now, anytime y'all trade, you're going on TradingView. This is what it's called right here. I'll even search it up so you can see. TradingView. This is it, okay? All you have to do is you can sign in. It's a free account. It doesn't even matter. But sign in, do whatever. Go to Super Charts, and this is where you'll be right away. You'll see what we trade is called Forex, and that is just currencies. So USD CAD is the US dollar to the Canadian dollar. So you're just trading those, and you're just fighting like which one's higher, which one's lower. Like that's what you're doing on here. CAD JPY, you're trading the Canadian dollar versus the Japan dollar. Okay? And by the way, if I stutter at all during this shit, my fault. But I'm doing this all in one take because I'm about to do like 30 different fucking videos. But yeah, so basically you're just trading currency. That's what Forex is. And that's all what we're going to be doing. It's really simple. I know it looks difficult. I mean, my first time ever doing this, it looked beyond difficult. Once you get the rundown, once you know why stuff moves, when it moves, and how it moves, then y'all should be good. But hold on, I'm switching it to the default colors. That way y'all can get an understanding of what y'all will see. Should have done this before, but it is what it is. Alright, so whenever you load up the chart, this is what it will look like. These are called candlesticks, okay? Anytime you see these wicks, or anytime you see a video about them mentioning candlesticks, this is what it is, okay? This is called a wick right here. I'll circle it. This is called a wick, and the body of it, this thick part, is called a candle, okay? Well, I'll teach y'all more about that as we go along, but for right now, just so y'all know, whenever I mention candle, I'm talking about the thick part. Whenever I mention wick, I'm talking about the skinny part, okay? Alright, so let's start whenever we load this up. What are we doing? So right now we're on CAD JPY. We're looking at the Canadian dollar versus the Japan dollar, or Japan yen. And right now I'm just going to teach y'all bullish and bearish consolidation, just real simple stuff, just so y'all can get a quick little rundown of how to do it. So right here you can see this is called consolidation, okay? Consolidation is when a group of candles, okay, remember candles are the bodies, candles and the wicks are all they're all just in one area. So like right here you see how like they're all just mainly bouncing in between just one area, just boom, 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 boom. They're not really moving too much, okay? Where like as of over here, you can see how this is consolidation, so where it all stays in one zone. But you can see like right here, we're constantly going down, okay? So it's not just staying in one area, it's constantly just shooting down. This is called bearish, okay? Remember, bearish is going down, consolidation is staying in one place. Bearish is going down, and remember, bearish is going down by, if you see it going down, that's bearish. Remember, a bear is just big and fucking fat, okay? So they're probably just going to be, humped down, where as if, say that the market is going up, is not called bearish. This is called bullish, okay? So imagine bullish as if like a horns, like horns on a bull, how they just go up, okay? How this is just going up, this is called bullish. This is going down, so a fat fucking bear is going down, bearish. And then we got consolidation, okay? Consolidation is when price just stays in one area mainly, okay? Like this, consolidation all right here, consolidation, and then this is qualified as bullish, okay? So that's bullish because it's going up, so up over the horns. So this would be the horns right here of the bull, boom, going up. So that's called a uptrend or bullish. Consolidation is when price is just bouncing in between one area, is staying in one area, and it's not really going too far up or too far down. And then we got a downtrend. A downtrend or bearish, bearish is when it's just going down. So you picture a bear just laying down because it's so fucking huge. Okay, so we got bearish, one more time. We got consolidation, which is in one place. Remember, y'all take notes during this, okay? Don't try to like be on no lazy ass shit. Take some notes. Bullish is up, okay? Bullish is up. Consolidation is in one place. Bearish is down, okay? Y'all write that shit down. Alright, so I'm gonna go over a few more examples just so y'all get the rundown a little more and y'all can see this shit. Okay, so right here we would qualify all of this from top right here to the bottom where this line ends. Since it's just going down like that, what do we call that? It's just popping up between the line. Tap, go down, tap, go down. It's not really staying in one area. It's just shooting down. This is called bearish, okay? Bearish. Right here, we see that it's just staying in one area. Price isn't really moving, okay? Price is just staying in one area, minding its own business. See? Boom, 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 boom. Like, yeah, it's going up, but then it's just going down right in the same spot over here. Then it's going up again, but only in the same spot it was right here. Like, it's not really, making new areas. So for now, we will just say that this is consolidation, okay? This is bearish, okay? And then if that's consolidation and if that's bearish, what do we think this is? There's only one more. Bullish, okay? If you said bullish, you're fucking correct. So this is bullish. And bullish, if a chart is bullish, so if it is going up, the chart is buying. If the chart is just bouncing in the same area like this, boom, 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 just fucking, not moving out, like I said, it's just moving like this. It can do this, just tapping in the same area, but it's just not escaping, like, this general box area, it's not escaping it. So that is just called consolidation. Right here, you see that, boom, now we're on a downtrend or bearish, so we're going down now, okay? Okay, so now that you kind of get that, make sure you're writing notes down. We'll keep on going over this as other videos are posted too. Like, this isn't going to be the only time I go over, like, super beginner shit. Like, I'm going to be posting beginner videos for a minute until most of y'all, or until the majority of y'all just tell me, like, hey, we can move on to something more advanced now. Like, okay, I got y'all. But, I got y'all. Just ride with me, and then I'm going to try to teach y'all the best way I can. Don't take this as, trading, like financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just a trader, okay? Take this as just content. Don't try to go over the top, risking your whole life savings on this shit, because no. So that's what we'll just do. That's what we'll just say for now. Just don't take me as some rich financial advisor or some bank dude, because I'm not getting sued or anything like that. So fuck you. But okay, so now we know consolidation, okay? We know bearish. This is another consolidation, and this is bullish, okay? So let's go over it one last time. If you're annoyed, sorry. Boom, we're going down. What is this called? A downtrend or bearish, okay? Hold on, I'm going to make the lines thicker for y'all so y'all can see it. And then, boom, what is this? When it's just staying in one area, it hasn't really escaped at all, It's just staying in this one box. Consolidation, okay? If you said that, you're correct. And then up here, boom, uptrend or bullish. So we know it was buying at one point. And what is it doing now, okay? I bet if you don't know by now, you haven't been paying attention, okay? Consolidation. Now, some of this shit, you're not going to get indented into your head. So, like, if I say something tomorrow when I post a video and you still don't get it, it's okay. Like, my first, 2 weeks of studying this shit, I didn't understand anything I was hearing. Like, it's like I was listening to a different language. But as I kept on watching videos and kept on studying, the language of, stocks or just Forex in general, I just learned how to fucking keep on going with it. And, yeah. Fuck me, I forgot what I was going to say. Alright, so now we're going to go over how to set up a chart, okay? How do we know if it's buying or selling? How do we know what are we doing? Alright, so first we load up a chart. Say that we're using USD CAD, okay? Say that, I'm the first time user and say that I'm teaching someone right now. If one of y'all were on the mic with me right now, this is what I would say to you, okay? You load up your chart, okay? You always have the 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily, okay? And the weekly. Don't ever have the 5 minute. The only reason I had the 5 minutes for other reasons. but y'all don't need the 5 minutes. So just have from the 15-minute to the right, okay? And if whenever y'all load up TradingView, you can come on here, tap this little arrow that says time interval, boom, and just tap the ones you want to, like your 15-minute, you come over here, you star it. Come over here, star the 30-minute, star the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, daily, and weekly. You star all of those. And then whenever you load up a chart, okay, you're like, I have some of you asking me, like, how are you knowing if it's buying? How do you know if it's selling? How do you know if it's this and that? Like, look, it's simple shit, okay? And as long as you put time and dedication to this shit, it becomes like you're reading a fucking book. It's so easy, okay? So first, we're going to load up the weekly chart, okay? Each one of these candlesticks is a week long, okay? So what that means is, whenever you go to the 15-minute, every time you see a candle, which is one of these, okay? Remember, a candle is this, a candle is this, a candle is this, a candle is even the red ones. Each one of these is a candle. Whenever you see a candle on the 15-minute, each one of those takes 15 minutes to form, okay? So it takes 15 minutes to open and 15 minutes to close, okay? So let me get my drawing tool right here. So you see right here, this one candlestick is a week long. It might just look like one candlestick, might not look like much, okay? But say that I circle it, okay? Let me make it a different color so you can see. What the fuck? Alright, fuck it. There you go. So boom, you see it's colored right here. And it's only one candlestick. You might think, like, what is that even telling us? If you go all the way down the 15-minute, because you circled that one candlestick was all of these 15-minute ones. So all of these 15 minutes, this started, remember, on the weekly, each one of these candles take a week to form. So whenever you go to the 15-minute, all of these inside this square, all of this was a week worth of work of this chart doing. So you got to be careful whenever you're looking at the weekly. You don't look too far back. Like, you don't look like, okay, let's look all the way back here. Like, fuck no, dude. That's all the way in the dinosaur age. This is 02. Like, no, that's not it, okay? So I'm going to teach y'all how to do this shit. It's super simple. Like, don't worry. It's not going to be the only video either. Like, I'll keep on posting videos. If y'all have any questions about the strategy, let me know. We can hop on a call. We can hop on whatever the fuck. I got y'all, okay? But fucking, we'll load up the weekly, okay? The weekly, remember, each one of these take a week to form. So you don't want to go too far back. You don't want to look far back. So what you do, you load up the weekly and you look at a group of candles, okay? The majority of the time, you'll look at the first little group. So, like, you know, just shit like right here. Don't look any far, like, even that is actually too big. I would probably, like, whenever you look at the weekly, only look at the first little group. So, like, right here. Because even if you look all the way back here, this is in June, all the way back here, where if you look that far in the 15-minute, it will be like an hour ago. So, remember, we always start in the weekly, you load it up, and whenever you go on the weekly, you only look for, like, this certain group. So you look at the starting candle right here, the candle that has the green line connected to it, and then you just connect it to a little group, okay? Whenever you connect it to that little group, you see, like, okay, am I selling or am I buying this week? Because each one of these candles take a week to form, so you'll know after... you'll know this whole group right here is telling you what it's been doing the past few weeks. So, like, if you go on the 15-minute, each one of these candles would be 15 minutes long, 15 minutes long, 15 minutes long, 15 minutes long, where each one of these candles took a week to form. So this took a week to open. It opened down here, and it closed up here, but it took a week to do so. So a lot can happen in a week. So we're going to see what we're doing right now, okay? So we just loaded up the weekly. What are we doing? We see that we are consolidating, okay? So not much of buying, not much of selling, a little bit of both, but you can't really trace that, okay? So, excuse me, fuck me. All right, so we're gonna see in this little group that we were consolidating, like I just said. Boom, we dropped to selling, and then now we're kind of pushing up. We're trying to start buying. We haven't had much pushing down. See, most of these are green, so we know right now the majority of the candles are buying. Okay, now we're pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. So what is this called? An uptrend or bullish. Okay, remember the horns of the bull? It goes up. So up is bearish. Up is bullish. Okay. So we load this up. We see the weekly is buying. Okay, why is it buying? Like I just said, we see it's bullish. We see it's constantly just going up. It doesn't really pull down much. Like over here, you would say it's buying up here until it started pulling down right here. And whenever it started pulling down, you would know, like, okay, I'm no longer buying, I'm probably selling. So boom, we load up the weekly, we see that we are buying for the week. Okay, so what I do every time I hop up on the weekly, say that I'm buying, I'll place a line called an invalid line. Whenever it passes this line, I'll know I'm no longer going to be buying. Okay, so I'll place it at an area where it's going to make the trade invalid. Okay, so you want to place it somewhere where if it passes that, you know you're no longer looking for buys, you're looking for sells. So like I would place it right, you see right here on these candles, I just place it a little farther down on this day before. Okay, actually I'm gonna delete it and add the longer line so it's easy for y'all to see. Okay, so what we worry about is support and resistance. Okay, so like I said in consolidation, up is bullish, consolidation is in one place, down is bearish. Now you're gonna worry about support and resistance. Okay, so I'm just going to show you it up here real quick. So say that a market is going up like this. Constantly just boom, 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 boom. You look to, like say that I loaded up the weekly, okay? I know it's buying. I would load up the weekly. Sorry, I lost my fucking train of thought for a second. I load up the weekly and you mark out support and resistance. So support and a resistance line is like right here, okay? So say that these were the candles. The candle came up, smacked down because it hit this area of interest, okay? This area where like it wants to go so bad, but every time it goes there, it keeps on rejecting that area, okay? So you see how it was going up. Boom, we're in an uptrend. We hit this area and we smacked down. So that's telling us maybe this area might have something to do, this might be an area of support or resistance, okay? So boom, if it hits it, so if it acts as a roof, if it can't get past it, like if it can't keep on going up, then that is considered resistance, okay? Now, if it fucking, like right here, you see how it's just bouncing on it? It, boom, dropped down, bounced on the floor, and then went up. This is called support because it's helping it stay up, okay? So remember, resistance, it's like it's pushing it down. So like right here, it is right here, it does not want it to go up, and then right here, it does not want it to go down. So if it doesn't want it to go past the roof, then it's resistance. If it doesn't want to go if it wants to just like use it as help, it's support. Okay? Sorry if I'm a little fucking, you know, fucking my first time ever doing some of this, so. Alright, so I'll keep on explaining to you what with real candles, that way it is easier for you to understand. Or easier. Alright, so support and resistance would be like right here. You see how on the right here it pushed above, pushed back down. Hold on, so delete this line. It pushed above, pushed back down. So whenever it uses the roof for help, what is that called? Support. Whenever it uses the roof for help, it is called support. Whenever it hits the roof and the roof rejects it, it's just called a rejection, okay? So whenever it hits the roof and goes the opposite direction, it's called a rejection. So you know that zone rejected it. Whereas right here, it supported it. It didn't want it to go through. Right here, see, it tried to peep through, but the zone was like, nah, come on. And we dragged it back up. Boom, boom, and now we're fully in the zone again, okay? So this is resistance on this side because it's under. So boom, it rejected. We're over here, support, okay? And if y'all ever feel like I talk too fast on my videos or anything like that, make sure to text me on Discord or whatnot, or if you have my Snap, whatever, just send me a message and let me know, because, I mean, I do need to know what I need to fix and whatnot. I mean, I definitely need to talk more clear for y'all, because I notice it too. Alright, so whenever we load up the weekly, we look if it's buying right away or selling, okay? Right now we know it's buying. So we're placing that invalid line at a support and a resistance area. The invalid line makes it to where, boom, we were buying, but if it passes this certain zone, we know we're no longer buying. We're looking for sells now, okay? So I'd place my line right there, okay? It's used as support right here, so it's helping these two stay up. Resistance right here, so it's helping these stay down. And then boom, support again over here. Y'all see that? just support. It's helping it stay up, where over here it keeps on rejecting it. It's like, nah, get the fuck out of here. So it keeps on rejecting that motherfucker. Where over here, it is supporting it. It's helping it stay up. It does not want it to go below. Alright? So we know whenever it's during the week, and say that the fucking chart is acting weird and it passes this line, okay? Then we know we're no longer looking for buys. We're looking for sells now because it passed that line on my weekly. And then you want to place your key take profit area. Actually, no, I'm not even going to go that far into the zone yet, just because I did that with someone else and it kind of fucked them up a little bit. So we're only going to worry about this first support and resistance line, the invalid line, okay? The invalid line is the only thing you need to worry about on the weekly. So you place the invalid line where you know if it passes that zone, your trades are no longer valid, okay? So if you were buying this whole fucking week, okay, like this, and say that, you know, I had a zone right here. So if it passed this zone, I'm like, okay, if it passes that zone, I'm no longer buying, I'm looking for sells. And if it does this, and if it stays below, then what are we doing? We're selling now, because now it's below my key area, okay? So let's delete those, and then we'll go to the daily next, okay? The daily is what you do right after the weekly. On the weekly, remember, you see if it's buying or selling, and then you place your invalid line where you know it's going to invalidate the trade if it passes that line. Or just invalidate your setup in general. So if you had the whole setup, you know, for everything ready for buys, and then boom, it goes below this line, you'll know that you just delete those buy shits and then start setting up sell signals, because you know you are selling now, okay? Whenever we go on the weekly, if we see the invalid line is close to the open candle, okay? You see how close it is? Like it's like the space in between this area is not a lot, okay? So we're gonna grab this and just drag it to the bottom of a resistance area, okay? Support / resistance. So boom, it broke through here. So now it's resistance over here. Push back up. Resistance because it rejected. Resistance again because it rejected. Now it broke above. Now it's using it as support, helping it stay above. Helping it stay above. Broke through again. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Then it broke through again. Now support, support, support. So you know it's helping it stay up, okay? Alright, this is your invalid line. So you know if it passes this line, you are buying. I mean, yeah, you're selling. If it passes this line, you're selling. You don't want it to pass that line. It's not like, oh, yeah, please pass that line. No, you don't want it to pass that line. That's not your goal. That's just, you know, a safety precaution. In case it does pass that line, you know, like, okay, what am I doing looking for buys? And you look for sells now. All right, so we go on the weekly, place the invalid line, then we go to the daily, and we place this called a pullback area, okay? Price will never go always up. So say that price is just going like this. It will never just go like this. It will eventually drop down, because the price is in cycle, okay? The stock, the Forex market, whatever, it's a cycle, okay? There's always cycles in it. There's 4 cycles a year. And I mean, right now we're in the first cycle. We're in first quarter. Second quarter is around, like, you know, summer area. Third quarter is around the end of summer, and then start of, like, you know, September and all that. Fourth quarter is November, December, you know, holiday type of seasons. Alright, so we're looking for pullback areas, okay? So a pullback area is just like your invalid area. It's a support and it's a resistance area. So you're looking for somewhere where it is a valid support, where it helps it stay up, but also a valid resistance where it helps it stay down. And you know where the price is going to, so you know this candle is going to pull back there because it's done it before with other candles. Okay? So like look what I'm saying right here. So I would place my first pullback line right there, okay? And you know it's your pullback line. Always place it white, and boom, you see right here, support. It's resistance for this candle, support for these candles. So you know, as soon as it breaks above, as soon as it breaks above a key area, or just really any area in general, it will always do this thing called a retest. So if there's a main line, if it pushes above, don't be like, oh, I pushed above my line, I need to go buy, I need to do this. Don't be rushy to place your trade, because it always has to do this thing called a retest, to where it retest the zone, okay? It retest the zone. So it always, if it pushes far above the line, you just wait for the retest back on the zone. So boom, it pushes back on the zone, boom, it closes on it, and that validates it as a retest. Okay, if the retest does this, say that it breaks through, closes up here, the candle, you know this, how it would close, if it closes above my line, but then it goes for the retest, and it closes below my line again, you're out that bitch, alright? Don't worry about placing the trade, none of that. So you always wait for a retest, because it needs to always pull back. You see, like right here, it didn't retest this main area where like its resistance really strong over here. Okay, even with y'all being beginners right now, I hope you see this. Like it's a really strong resistance area. Where over here, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Like it's super strong areas. Okay, you're not just gonna place the lines in the middle of wicks. Okay, you never do that. Don't in the middle of candlesticks. Sorry. You don't place it like this. Like, oh, look, you know, it's helping this line stay, it's helping this candle stay down. Like, no, it's retarded, okay? You don't just place it in the middle of candlesticks like this. You have to make sure it's in a valid point. So a valid point right on this zone would be on top, because you see how it's a valid resistance area. It's making it, it is making sure it is staying down, okay? So boom, it pushed up, rejected. Boom, pushed up, rejected. Boom, pushed up, rejected again. So boom, now what are we doing right here, okay? If we're just going down, we rejected this line. What is this called now? We have bullish. We have consolidation. So what is this called? Motherfucking bearish. Alright, so bearish, remember, is going down. Bearish is going down just like it did right here. Alright. So a pullback area. This is a good first pullback area because we know, like I said before, it broke above, but it has not retested. So when it hasn't retested, you always wait for that retest. Because look right here, it broke above, it almost retested. You see how close it was? You still would not get in the trade until it retested your line. Because look, if you would have waited for the retest, say that you got in right here, stop loss, you know, where I'll teach y'all about stop losses, but say that, you know, you put a stop loss down here, this would have gotten so close to it for no reason because you didn't wait for the rejection. See, now it finally rejected, and when it rejected, it decided just to stay in this zone. So you would know not to enter in this trade. Where like right here, it pushed above, rejected, so you would know to get in, place your stop loss down below this resistance, and then boom. So now it's just consolidating, and then boom, would have hit your take profit, and then you would have been fine, okay? I'll teach you all about stop losses, take profit, probably like, what the fuck is that? I'll teach you about that whenever we scale down in the 15-minute. Or in the daily. So we're on that shit right now. But, okay, so your first pullback area is a support and resistance key area. Support and resistance key area. Okay, remember that. So you see it's broke above this main zone. It has not retested, so I know it probably still has to pull back. Okay? And you always want to place two pullbacks, okay? You want to zoom out, see like good areas it can probably be, move your cursor around a little bit. Boom, right here. We see right here, support, 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 resistance, resistance, broke above. Now it's support, now it broke below, resistance. So we know it, like before I said, I don't want it just through candles like this, okay? I don't want it just to have fucking lines through random fucking candles. But if it happens to go through a couple candles whenever you set up a valid zone, it's all good. See, like right here, it's going through candles, but it's acting as a break. So it finally just broke through. It did that retest thing that I talked about. So you would get in, and then boom, look, it just went up. To where if you didn't wait for the retest, then look, right here, fucking pushed up, you wait for the retest, it retested in the line, so you don't get in, boom, pushed up, it rejected, like, so you would not get in yet. Even if it pushed above your line, you still would not get in because you always wait for that reject, okay? So, we're still waiting for a pullback. So these are called your pullback areas. You'll know that price has to pull back to one of those areas. So when price pulls back to that area, it's going to act as a slingshot, okay? So imagine this as a line, as like a string. And whenever this pulls back to it, it has to act as a pullback, okay? So like a bow and arrow. And then it's going to fucking shoot that motherfucker. And the plan is just to, boom, scoop that bitch, and then have it just shoot. Okay? So remember, these lines aren't just like it's going to just tap it and boom. These are like, it has to be like a bow and arrow. So if it pops in your line a little more, that's fine. But remember, this is a bow and arrow. So whenever it pulls down to your areas, it's just going to start shooting up then. So where would your take profit lines be? Take profit lines are where you would take your profit, okay? So say that I bought when it hit down here, and it went to my zone, I would take it out because it's my take profit. You take your profit. So you would always put your take profit if it's buying, like, even if it's buying or selling. Most of the time, you put it on the daily, previous to the open one. So if this is the open one right here, this red one, because it has this red line, then I would go on the previous resistance, and you see like right here how there's a little resistance right here. I'd place that right there. Boom. We know this is a take profit area. Oh shit, let me different color for y'all. Alright, there we go. So we know this is a take profit area because it's pulled up there before. So you want your take profits to be support, and you want, you know, resistance whenever you're buying, and you want your pullback areas to be a support area. So you see how my take profit, this blue line, is where it's pulled up to before. So I know it's probably going to pull up there again. Where these white lines are where it's pulled down to before. So I know it's probably going to pull down there again. Okay? So boom, those are pullback areas. So now, what do? As soon as we set these lines up, we go on the 4 hour, and we make sure the zones are good. Make sure they're breaking through easily. Like you see, like boom, they're consolidating in my zones good. They're breaking through a little bit. It's fine. It broke through, and boom, it broke through. What is it not done yet? Retested. See, look on over here. It pushed above, like I said. It did not retest. So what did it need to do? The volume of the fucking chart needed to retest, and it did not retest. Even right here, it was super close, probably like 3 pips away, but it did not hit it. So boom, because it didn't retest, when it finally did retest, if you would have waited for the retest like a smart person, then you would have known not to enter, because you would have fucking lost, because this shit just plummeted down. Like, yeah, you could say it broke above this and that, but it didn't break and retest. All it did was break above, okay? So yeah, you would have got, you know, your win, this and that. You never, like, it's fine. You just you're just patient. Boom. We waited for it to, we were still waiting for that break and retest. So boom, what did it do? It swooped under. We're just consolidating. It pushed above again. What did it finally do? It broke. It retested. And what do? We hit take profit again. So you would hit take profit no matter what. So you just make sure your zones are good whenever you go down your 4 hour. And then you go down to your 15 minute, okay? On your 15 minute is where you place your trade. Okay? So you place your trade when it's like this. Say that market was open right now. Market is closed right now because it's the weekend. Market closes every weekend year round from at Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So if you're in Texas, that's you obviously. A couple other states, but I don't fucking know. But if you're in Texas, you're Central Time. So just worry about, you don't have to really worry about, you know, oh, what time does it close? 4:30 it closes. Well, 4 o'clock really. 4 o'clock it closes. 4 p.m. Central Time it closes, and I believe 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday it opens, okay? So just be on the lookout for that. You always want to make sure you know when the market's opening and closing, even when you're a beginner. That way you know when to look at your charts. You're not just looking at dead charts. All right, so boom, we see the chart. We're on the 15 minute now. This is where you place your buys, okay? So you look for your long position. Long position means buy. Write this in your notes right now if you've been writing notes at all this entire video. Write long position means buy. Okay? And you'll tap on the long position. This is what it looks like up here. Boom, you'll tap it in the middle of your white line. You'll drag the, you know, it will be green and red for y'all, but for me it's blue and red. I'll drag it up to my blue line, and I would keep my stop loss. You always want to keep your stop loss. This is where, like, say that, you know, I have $300, okay, I have in this trade. So if it hits this, say that, you know, it's going like this. Boom, we were in profit. Then it starts going down, and it hits that. It'll automatically take you out. So, just, like, some of you may ask, like, oh, why do you want it to take you out? You know, it could go back up. I mean, yeah, it could go back up. But what happens if you're risking $300 already right here in this area? So if it hits this area, you're already down 300, but you don't have a stop loss. Most of y'all probably don't have big accounts or don't have an account at all. So you're just going to blow that shit. So if you don't have a stop loss, boom, you just went from negative 300, now you're negative 600, negative 900, whatever. You're negative 20, just whatever, when you could have just avoided that loss. All right, so stop loss, always under a key area, just like with everything else we've been doing. Our shits are just key areas, okay? As you watch more of the videos, you'll see, like, damn, this is really that simple? Fuck yeah. All right. So you go before the main push. So you scroll over on your white line. You see what pushed above. Okay. So you see like over here it pushed above. What caused that main push? Where was the main push at? So we see the main push all started from way down here. Okay. Well, boom. So I would put my stop loss below the like the big push. So right here, see how the really long candle? That's the really big start of the push. I was just really like small candle. Then the big candle. So stop loss would be right there, okay? Right below that area. So let's see, let's zoom out and drag stop loss right below that push. Because we know if it pushes down there, if it pushes close to here, and if it does take us out, it's probably just going to keep on going. It's not going to like, oh, ha, 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 and then tap it and then keep on going up. Like, you don't want that. You want it to, if it does end up hitting your stop loss, you want it to keep on going down. You don't want to see it go in the opposite direction as soon as it just taps your stop loss. That's happened to me and many other people, and it sucks. Alright, so boom, your stop loss is below this main push right here. So this main push, you know, is the reason all of this happened. So you would put it below this main push, below this white line. So below this white line, what big push happened? This one right here. So you would put it a couple pips below that. And pips, guys, are just this shit over here. Whenever you see 1.34948 to 1.35009, you just look at the last three numbers, okay? 948 to 009 is how many numbers, okay? Like how many fucking, how many times did it go to fucking from 948 to 009? How many pips is that? Like how many pips would you think? 52 or 50-ish. Okay, so you just look at the last three numbers every single time. You see, 135.809 to 135.810, 2 pips. Okay, that's all they are. Pips are just points, basically. Okay, so 135.270 to 135.265 is 5 pips. Okay, or you know, say that 135.550 to 134.502. That's 1,000 pips, okay? Because of 35550 to 34502, that's almost 1,000 pips, or that is 1,000 pips, okay? So, if y'all still don't get pips, I'm gonna talk about it a lot in other videos, and so is my team whenever they release their parts of their videos as well. And if my shit, like I said before, if it does end up looking like a little too difficult, I mean, just know this shit's like not bread and butter. It's not gonna be super easy, super like simple to put together. Like, well, whenever you get the handle of it, whenever you're like 8 months deep, a year deep. Like I'm 8 months deep, and I can do this shit in my sleep now. But I mean, it's just because I grinded so much. Okay, not no corny shit, none of that fucking. I grind, shut the fuck up. I actually grinded for this shit. Okay, so it's not like no fucking. I'm just gonna wake up and I want 10K, I want 5K. Like no, okay. So for some of you asking like, oh, how do you get that 10K? How do you get that 5K? Fucking grind. Put in the work, okay? So just fucking, if y'all follow my shit, y'all put in the hard work, and if y'all just bust ass, I don't see why y'all won't make it, okay? That's all it is. But most of you, I mean, on some like disrespectful, not disrespectful shit, I mean, most of y'all aren't gonna do it. That's just because that's what most people do. That's not me trying to like, oh yeah, like secretly motivate y'all. Like, no, that's just the truth. Like, most of y'all aren't gonna do it just because, like, who the fuck just wants to sit there all day and watch videos on, you know, candles? Like, this shit's not fun at first at all. Like, I didn't enjoy this shit at all until like after the first like 2 or 3 months, and the first 2 or 3 months were just constantly me losing. But like, you know, you'll hear other people once y'all get to studying this shit more. Like, a lot of people, they lose the first 5 years and they don't become profitable whatsoever. So like the fact that I can do this in like 6 months, I mean, I got this shit within 3 months. I was able to like kind of get the hang of it, and then after like around my 6 or 7 month mark, that's when I started really like fucking firing hard on this bitch, fucking. But I mean, I was just grinding like a hoe. So that's all y'all got to do too. I mean, it's really not that hard as long as you put in the work. I mean, I know most people, they got jobs, but like, I mean, most of y'all that are in the Discord right now are still in high school. I mean, yeah, you might have a job, but you're not working no fucking 9 to 5. So you can definitely bust out, you know, an hour or two of studying a day, and then so by, you know, maybe summer you're making a little bit of profit from this, and then hopefully, you know, by next Christmas you're actually making good money. That's not me trying to like push y'all back like, oh damn, next Christmas. Like, no, like that's not even that far away if you're really thinking about it. Okay, like, fucking A. But I know y'all can do this shit as long as you put the work towards it. That's all it is. That's all it's about. You just gotta fucking keep on the grind, even whenever you're not, you know, whenever you don't feel like you're fucking motivated. You just gotta stay disciplined. You gotta keep yourself, you know, like you're going to the gym and shit. You just gotta keep yourself studying up on this shit. Just knowing like maybe I'm not rich now, but I'm gonna get rich from this shit. Okay. All right. So we learned a little bit about bullish. Okay, let's go over that one more time. We have bullish right here, okay? We know bullish means it's going up, so it's buying. Boom. Bullish. We have consolidation. Consolidation is what? Staying in one place constantly. Boom. That's consolidation. And then we have a downtrend or bearish, okay? Bearish is a downtrend, or just bearish is going down. So boom, you see boom, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down, going down. Constantly just going down, going down. So that's not consolidation. That's not, you know, bullish. That's bearish. Alright, so now that we got all that out the way, I'll go over one more, and then I'm going to end this video, and hopefully y'all can get a little bit of the shit. Alright. Now we'll look at CAD JPY. And remember, you're just trading currencies. That's all it is. So if the Canadian dollar is super high one day, and then the Japan dollar is super low one day, then, you know, shit might be like, you know, make sure you're always checking news. I mean, obviously not as a beginner. You don't have to worry about that shit at all. News is, you know, irrelevant to the situation. But as you get up in trading, you start putting more lot sizes. You start trading days and days and days and days. You'll start realizing that news affects this shit like crazy. Even if you're not a, you know, even if you are a beginner and you don't know much about, you know, stocks. I mean, even today was a big news day. Today was NFP, so non-farm payroll tax, and it just went over inflation and shit. So today, I mean, it was good news. Inflation came out lower than expected, so the market started moving normal. But if inflation ever comes out higher than expected, so if it comes out, you know, say that, you know, we're expecting, you know, just for an example, okay, don't take this seriously, but say that we're expecting, like, you know, a 10, okay, and that's pretty bad. You're like, oh my god, and then we end up getting a 15. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, you know, like they start flipping out a little more. Money starts acting weird. It'll be a lot more consolidation. It'll be a lot more of, like, you know, just random, like, going up and down. It won't really be a pattern. It'll just be really, like, weird shit, okay? So let's go over CAD real quick. Okay, remember, what do? We go to the weekly as soon as we load this bitch up, okay? We go on the weekly, and we look at the first little group. What's the first little group? About right there, okay? We only look at that. So we see that it was consolidating a little bit. It pushed down, but over the past few weeks, we've been constantly just moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. Even this week says that we're selling, and because it's such a strong impulse move down, okay? Like, you see how it hasn't pushed past, like, if I were to place a line right here, it hasn't passed this line at all in 3 weeks. So we know it's probably using it as what? If it's not letting it pass through, if it keeps on pushing it down, what is that called? Resistance, okay? So you always want to make sure you're looking out for your resistance. So right here we see, obviously, if we were to place the invalid line, that's what you go in your weekly for. You see if it's buying or selling, and then you place that invalid line. Fuck me. Hold on. I'm just making sure I'm doing this right. So, fucking A. I'm messing up. I'm supposed to be the one teaching y'all. No, I'm just playing. No. I mean, I would say, you know what? We're just not going to do this. I was trying to go over just easy charts. That way you don't have to think too much when going over it. Because I don't want to have to, like, explain a lot of shit to y'all. Then y'all get mixed up. As we get more into videos, I'll be able to explain it to y'all a lot more complicated. And y'all just like, oh, yeah, that's what you mean, Kyler. Like, yeah. But it's okay. We'll just start it on fucking... We'll start on one of my pairs, okay? This is my EJ. So you're trading the euro dollar or euro pound, whatever the fuck, to the Japanese yen. So we see on the weekly on here that we are what? Whenever we load this bitch up, we were going down in this little group. We were going down, but then we started to just go up, go up, go up. And even right here, it wanted to go down, but it did not at all, you know? So I'm going to keep on saying this is buying. So you want to place your invalid line at an area to where you know it's going to invalidate the buys, okay? So right here, I would place it at this elbow of an area. So you see how if it passes this elbow right here, if it passes this is like a structure point. So if it passes that, then it's probably not gonna fucking stay. It's not probably not gonna stay up. You know, if it passes this zone right here, probably just gonna boom fall through. So you know if it passes this zone, then you're probably just gonna keep on fucking selling. Now if it stays above the zone, you're just gonna keep on buying and not have to worry about, you know, flipping your strategy around this and that. All right, so always have your invalid line red. The way you know it's like a no-no zone. Then we go to daily. And we see how this is too close to the open candle, like I said before. So you want to pull that invalid line down. I'm also going to delete it. That way I can make a new one for y'all. You're just going to pull it down to about right here. You see the elbow right here? So boom. This is like the elbow of the fucking, of the candles. So if it passes this elbow, I know I'm probably just going to keep on plummeting down like it did right here. Past this area. Fucking flew through. Alright. So now we're going to load up pullback zones, okay? So we want an area where it's going to pull back to and use it as a slingshot to fly up, okay? So we look over here, we see that what areas has it pulled back to before. Use it as a support slash resistance. Let's say right there, okay? First good pullback, why? We see right here, it wanted to break above, but it was using it as resistance. Wanted to break above, use it as resistance, and then boom, now is it using it as support. What is it not done yet though? It has not retested this key area, this main area. It has not retouched it, it hasn't retested it, nothing. So we know it probably is going to pull back down to this area again because it hasn't not done it. It has not done it in a minute. Okay. So then boom, we place a second one. We place the second one at another key area where other candles have drawn down to and use it as support slash resistance. So boom, you see right here, pushed right there, boom, rejected, pushed up here, boom, broke through, it retested with this one, okay, and then it, boom, kept on pushing up, it made an M formation, and what it do, and whenever you see an M formation like this, that's how you know you're about to get in the most lethal fucking trade of your life. Right there, you see it past that M, or you can call it a double shoulders pattern. And right here, you see this main push right here, what caused all that? Or we can probably just say right here. You put a line right there. Put a line, this is called a neckline, okay? So at the bottom of this wick, boom. Stretch that bitch. And you'll know, if it passes this line, at any given moment, they're fucked. I mean, whoever, you know, is trading against you, who's ever, you know, buying whenever you were just selling right now, lost. Because you just won all the fucking money. Because whenever it breaks a neckline, you see how it broke this neckline right here. So it broke it, it retested and just shot down. Perfect fucking area. Okay? So we see this area is valid right here because it's used it as support. Come over here, use it as resistance. Come over here, support, resistance. So we know these are valid pullback areas. And your take profit area wants to be a low. You want that to be mainly a level of resistance. So an area it's pushed up to, it just couldn't really get past. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably say up there. But keep an eye on the pips. Remember we talked earlier about pips. You never want your zones to be too far. Okay, so you see how 161, 505, 504 to 163, 357. That's 2,000 pips. You never want your first rejection, like your first rejection right here. You never want that first rejection to be 1,000 plus pips away from your take profit. You want it to be between 600 to 800. Sometimes it will be 1,000, but sometimes it's really rare. Most of the time it's 6 to 800. Okay. So we see that up here is a super high zone. Even if it's a good zone, that could be your second take profit. Okay. But I'm not gonna teach y'all too much about first take profits. I feel like it's easier if I just teach y'all about one for now, and then I'll teach y'all about how scaling up to more. But I'd probably drag it right below this elbow of an area right here. You see how like it made like a fucking elbow formation? It pushed above, boom, boom, made that little elbow right there. Okay? So if it passes, and whenever it hits that line again, you know it's probably going to hit that line again. Excuse me. Sorry. So, it's pushed above already. It hasn't rejected, so it still has to reject, so it still has to pull down to it. And because this is a valid area of resistance / support, the resistance acts as a pull area. So you see it pulled to the area, use it as resistance. So it pulled to this area, use it as resistance. So it's probably going to happen again. So it's going to pull down to your area of support, and it's going to hit your area of resistance. Okay? Are you understanding? So now we know we bought. Okay, we went on the daily. Okay, we know that we are buying. We know that if it passes this invalid line on this elbow, we're no longer selling. That we are buying. We're no longer buying. That we are selling. Okay, so if it passes this line, I'm deleting this white, and blue line. I'm deleting all that shit. I'm setting up lines down here. Okay, so I would set up lines. Right there, fucking right here. Not really, but that's what, like, an example. But that's only if it passes that red line. Okay, so now what do? Remember, we go on the weekly to see the invalid line if it's buying or selling, and then we go on the daily. We look for pullback areas for it to pull back to, and we look for take profit areas for it to launch up to. Okay, so we already got those two. And then now we just go down on the 4 hour. Make sure your zones are good. Make sure they look good. Make sure they broke above. They retested. You see how they retest? So you would get in for a buy. And remember, you would put your stop loss below the push. So over here, you see the main push. It starts from the bottom over here to up there. Put your stop loss, boom, right there. The bottom of that push. Put your take profit at that blue line. And look what fucking happened. You would have got that take profit. You would have got the fucking money. Now, you always want to make sure your numbers right here. You see how it says 3 and you see how it says 8? You always want to make sure those are always 3 numbers apart. Okay, you always want to make for one, you always want to make sure your blue one or your green one is a higher number than this one, okay? So you'd never want it to be like this. Like 0.36, 0.17 to 0.38. You never want the green zone to be bigger than to be smaller than the red zone. Because that means you're risking more than you're going to be winning. You can be risking $100 down here, but the max you'll win because it's all the way right here is $50. So like, what the fuck is the point? So always make sure those numbers say, this number right here says max 3, and then make sure the number up here says wherever your take profit is. Okay. So the number down here will max say 3, but at the most of the time it will say 1 or 2 right here. Where that 3.8 is, it will say like 1 or 2. Okay? It won't ever be 3 most of the time. So boom, we just go down to our 15-minute. And then now we just wait for a pullback to our pullback area. Okay? So say that, even if it did this. Oh, sorry. Actually, let me make that more clean for you. Say that, it dropped down, it's whatever. We think we're about to get in a trade, but then it just does this. And it reverses back up, okay? Now it starts going up here. And if it does this, if it rejects the zone, you do not get in. Now, if it, is playing around, being dumb, and then it starts dropping like this, and it rejects your white line like that, and it closes above. So it will reject it, and if it closes above like that, and it doesn't like dip under, then you know that you're buying. Now, if you're watching it, and it dips under, okay? If it does this, and it dips in your line, you'll wait for this thing called a break and retest, like we've been talking about. So you wait for it to swoop back up, break above your line. You still don't enter, and then after you wait for that break, you'll wait for it to come back down, retest off your line, and then you'll put your stop loss below the main push. So where was the main push? Right here, okay? Yeah, you can't see it really, but just make up a fucking imagination. So say that, you know, this is the main push right here, these two dots. I drag it below the main push, so like right there. You always want to make sure to say that the main push is at 161,326. You want to make sure it's a couple pips below that. So this is at 161 to 311. So we'll drag that down from right here. Just drag it down to, you know, the right there. Boom. Make sure your take profit is on your, you know, wherever your blue line is, and then boom, your trade is in. All right, so that's gonna, you know, conclude the first little vid. If it's, you know, too fast paced, anything like that, like just let me know whatever I need to work on. I mean, if I'm fucking stuttering too much, you know, anything, just fucking let me know, and I got y'all. I'll try to do better, because I want to help y'all the best way I can, you know, help you. I can give y'all video recommendations too. I mean, hold on, I'm just gonna tell y'all people to watch real quick. That way y'all know I'm not, like, obviously the only person to be watching whatsoever. So we'll go on YouTube real quick. Got my match. We're not watching that. Look, you can look up Lambo Raul, okay? This guy taught me everything I needed to know about Forex. He's super good. Now the only downside, which I hear a lot of people say this whenever I recommend them to Raul, is the fact that he talks too fast. He's a super fast talker because how good he is in the market. And he's super good. I mean, like, you'll see over here, he'll be making $50,000 profit, 43K profit, 55K profit, all in one day. And that's crazy. The most I ever made was, you know, 4, 5. And that's, like, nowhere even near the fucking, you know, numbers that he makes. So y'all definitely can learn from him. You can learn from, y'all hear people, y'all will definitely, if y'all end up entering the trading space, y'all hear people talk shit about Mamba FX. But I feel like he's super legit. I mean, people talk shit on him just because he looks fake. But he's taught me almost everything I need to know as well. He's super smart, super good for beginners that don't know much about the language, like, you know, much about like uptrend, downtrend. Like, maybe, you know, you're still getting used to it. He doesn't use it as much, or when he does use it, he'll like just tell you right away what it means. So he's super good for beginner videos. Another person that's super good, the last person I'll tell you to watch, is Chris Swaggy C. He is super good. He's super transparent. Like, this guy, like, you'll know from the jump he's not trying to fuck you over or anything like that. If you do come on here, watch support and resistance. That's what I'm teaching y'all right now. That's just all you need to learn. Whenever you're watching Forex videos, only watch support and resistance. That's all you need to watch. Okay? Chris Swaggy C, or you can watch, I'll give you one more. Q Banks, okay? Q Banks, he's been in trading for like 9 years now. Look right here, he had a $604,000 win. What the fuck? I mean, this motherfucker goes crazy. He's dumb rich. I mean, all of this is just from trading. So, like, I mean, some of y'all may think like, oh, it's so far away, this and that. Once you start getting in the grind of this shit and you start pushing every day, you'll start seeing, like, once you start seeing a little profit here, a little profit there, you start actually getting like a good amount of profit in. It feels beyond good. Like, you know that, like, bro, I can do this shit. Like, you know that, like, bro, I'm gonna be rich as fuck one day. Like, you know, like, no matter, like, it's not about like, maybe I'm gonna be rich. Like, no, you're going to be rich. Okay? So, but that's the end of the video. If you have any questions, let me know. This is the first beginner video for the Discord, so I hope it's, you know, helpful, and, you know, at least the ways that I was hoping it's gonna be helpful. So I'm just gonna go over quick recap what we went over. So remember, you're loading up, you want to start trading, you search up trading view, okay? That'll be like what you mark up on, okay? You don't worry about placing trades, like actual trades, yet. Y'all are too beginners to worry about that shit. You just have to worry about watching videos and studying on the art of trading, okay? So we load up trading view, and that's what we trade. We trade Forex, which is currency. So gold is not Forex. This USD JPY is Forex. Forex. All of this is Forex because it's currencies, okay? So we know that we're trading currencies. We know that whenever we want to place a trade, we have to have it smack a pullback area, okay? And we know what this is doing right. Like, what is it doing right here? What is this called again? Remember? It starts with a B. Bearish, okay? So for those of you, who said that shit, or anyone who did not say that shit was being quiet, stop being puss. No, but right here, what is that called? When it's just staying in one area, one price range, really, it's already hit up here, hit up there again. It's already hit down here, it hit down here again. It's mainly just staying in one area. So what is that called? Resistance, okay? Now, what is this called when it's going down again? A downtrend or bearish, okay? Bearish. Now, what is this called? We're getting new highs. So, we're just constantly pushing up. What is that called? An uptrend or bullish, okay? One more. We got, what is this called again? Consolidation, okay? Whenever it's staying in one price. So I hope y'all, did write down some notes. Obviously, there's some notes that y'all could have definitely wrote involving the consolidation, resistance, support and resistance, all of that. So, I mean, if y'all didn't write notes, then, it is what it is. If y'all did write notes, fucking good shit. I'm going to be posting more videos either tomorrow or either Saturday or Sunday. So, I mean, y'all get this video no matter what, and I'll send out more videos depending on if I'm busy or not. But I'm gonna link my Instagram and everything in our general chat just so y'all can go ahead and follow on there, because I'm gonna be cutting this video up into multiple small pieces and just posting it on there for like reels and shit. Okay. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope it wasn't too difficult starting off. I mean, I hope you know now, like, as long as you stay consistent, you're gonna get this shit. Like, that's all it is. So, but like I said before, message me if there's anything y'all need. If y'all need help setting this shit up, I'll got y'all 100%. Okay. But yeah, I don't know unless y'all text me. So text me. Fuck. But just if y'all have any questions, again, like I said for the fucking thousandth time, text me or text one of the admins in the Discord, or just text someone in the Discord if you have a question. Maybe someone else might know something. Shit. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good day. Hope you enjoy the video, and let me know if I need to fix up on anything. All right. Have a good day. Be safe.